I watched The Mandalorian and Grogu on Tuesday night, and I went with my mom and my two sisters, and also my cousin. And he's older than me, barely, but I I was surprised by it. I had seen some reviews. I didn't know any spoilers, um, but I did know basically that the main review is that like nothing important happened, a little bit. And it was basically like this is just an adventure. This is just like one time, like does not correlate to the bigger story. It doesn't really. And in one sense, like that's kind of like, oh man, that's kind of rough. But then at the same time, it's also like it's kind of fun. And I went in and excited. I, I went in excited because I haven't been to a Star Wars movie. That was my first Star Wars movie since the number nine, which I cannot even the Rise of Skywalker, and I enjoyed going to the Rise of Skywalker, and which my opinion changed afterwards. Like I when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, it was pretty good, and then later I was like, that was kind of the worst Star Wars movie. It has, I think there are still good moments in it, of the Rise of Skywalker, but it's definitely not my favorite. Um, and But with the Mandalorian and Grogu, I was like, okay, I'm ready for another Star Wars movie because the only Star Wars movie that my mom and I did not go see in theaters was Solo. All the others we went and sometimes brought somebody with us. Same thing with the Rise of Skywalker. It was like a bunch of us at Christmas went, and so I was like, okay, I really need to see this in theaters. I really need to. I say need to. I didn't need to, but so I told my mom about it, and we went, and we got our tickets cheap because she's part of like a club anyway. And so, like the rewards, she's not part of a club, but she's part of the rewards, and we got them cheap. And so I went, and I was actually, you know, satisfied with it. One of the reviews before I went, that I saw, like a lot of people were saying, was like it felt like this was supposed to be season four, and they made it into a movie, which I think is actually what, like I think that's said. I don't know if that's said or not, like by somebody, but that's pretty much what it is, and you can still feel the pacing a little bit. Like I was thinking throughout the whole movie because I saw that those reviews beforehand. I was looking, like, or thinking throughout the movie. I was like, okay, so this was an episode, this was an episode, and in total, I'm thinking there's probably like 5 or 6 episodes that you can make right now. Obviously, they'd be short right now, but um, you could make 5 or 6. So I think they might have had to cut like some material, but it was still, despite the pacing, um, if you go into knowing that it's going to be like that, it's still really good for just an adventure, And I think that that's the way you have to go through. It is not a typical Star Wars movie. And like a lot of reviews I'm saying now is like there wasn't a lot of theme. There wasn't like there it wasn't thematic. It wasn't didn't add to the Star Wars universe. It didn't have any character development. I think it had a little bit for Grogu. I think Mandalorian I think was kind of static throughout it for the most part. I think though for Grogu there was, there was interesting moments in each, and Rada I think was a good addition. It is strange, like some people say, seeing like um, a hut, a muscular hut, but it actually worked really well. I feel like for the movie, there was some, I will say, like for kid wise, it's not. I'd be a little weary of letting younger kids watch it because it is um, very intense, and that's one thing I that you can, because of like it's episodic, and you can see where the different episodes are. You can see like I feel like there's a lot of action because of that. I feel like, I mean, it's Star Wars, so you expect a lot of action, but it is very intense in some parts, and so I enjoyed it though. I'm not gonna say it's like my top Star Wars movie, and I think it doesn't have it does not have the depth of other Star Wars movies. Like it very much does not. But if you go into it with the mindset of like this is just a good like Star Wars adventure, I think it's all right. And that's kind of like with it honestly reminds me of more of like the first season of The Mandalorian, where it's like this is a standalone thing. This is its own thing. It doesn't like yeah, there's a few moments that kind of connect to the larger picture, but like it really it really does not. It really just affects the characters on the screen that you see. It really doesn't, and that's what I think the strength is that it's not involving everybody in the universe and like Mandalorian season 2 and then even season 3 maybe I see I forget on like season 3 of like what happened to Mandalorian season 3 but definitely the weaker season. Season 1 and 2 it's great. Season 3 I feel like because of Book of Boba Fett and messed up the things. I mean it really is the reason we have the Mandalorian and Grogu today, the movie, because realistically, if in the perfect world, it would just be a Mandalorian movie. If I'm being honest, if you've watched season 2, um, but but I did think that, um, yeah, I think what happened in Book of Boba Fett with, and this is a spoiler, um, it's been out for a while, so go watch it, and then want to continue this video. You're not going to do that anyway, but like Grogu comes back, and I think that is the bad thing about like everything that worked up to season 2. Like it just in a moment in a different series, it like it's like and so we have the Mandalorian Grogu movie today. Um, that is like the one good outcome because season 3 really Grogu did not need to be in season 3 of Mandalorian in my opinion. Like there was no point of bringing him back. This movie, I feel like you get to see more of like okay, it like it can work. Like they have a path forward. I don't think I don't know how it's gonna connect to the bigger picture, but there again, it's like it might not have to, and I think that's kind of one thing that like we don't. It's like we want the high stakes battles, and that's very like it's very fun, but I feel like you could completely make a story just Mandalorian, just Grogu, just the characters he interacts with, and I think there's room to grow with that, but like I said, um, like if I had to give a rating like realistically, I probably wouldn't. It shouldn't get like a good rating, or it should get a good rating, but it shouldn't get like a great rating. Um, but I will say like it didn't mess anything up. Like, and I think that's for me, that's the thing that's like it seems like so easy. In Star Wars today, it's like they can mess something up, but it really didn't. Like everything was good. I think the bad thing is like nobody went to go see it. But I do think, like, I really do think that, like, this is a movie like I would, like, I'll rewatch. I really like when it comes out, either on DVD, because I still sometimes use those, but if it comes out on DVD or you know, streaming, I think like I will put this on, and it doesn't have a lot of like because it doesn't have a lot of depth. I feel like I can just it's just like background. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of bad. That sounds bad, but like it's fun. It is a fun adventure. It's something that like my cousin who he's a halfway Star Wars fan. Like he went and saw the first Force Awakens, the first of the new movies with me, and my mom and but he's not like a hardcore fan. He doesn't really I don't think know what's happening. He didn't even watch the other Mandalorian stuff, but he said after this movie he's like I want to go watch like the season or the series again or again for the first time. And so I do think it has its place. It's not the highly anticipated, Star Wars saga. It's not anything crazy, but that's what I kind of like about it. And so I think it is a good movie. I think it is. It has a lot of action, and it has a lot. It's Star Wars. It's Star Wars. It's not as big and grand, but it is Star Wars, and I like it. So I know that's different than what I normally post on this channel, but it's what's happening. So what's happened in my life, and so I wanted to talk about it. And I am a Star Wars fan. So I say Star Wars fan. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't know why I'm questioning that. Like, I am a fan of Star Wars. Not everything Star Wars. Like, I'm not like I feel bad. I feel like I'm wrong if I say I'm not a hardcore fan because like I've been a fan all my life, since I was pretty young, and it is probably like out of um, but I understand. Also, it's like I understand now when people enter the series why they think it's not what it's talked up to be. Like I understand, like especially if you start with Phantom Menace. If you start with the originals, I also still get it. Like the pacing, like I understand if you don't like Star Wars, you don't have to. Um, but for me, it's like nostalgia, and like I just think back in 1977. I understand completely. Like this was the coolest thing, and so I think it's very. I mean, it is why movies today are the way they are, kind of like the blockbuster, and it's just very interesting. And recently I was in Washington D.C. and I got a picture with like the R2D2 and C3PO, and that was cool. So I am a fan. I don't know why. Like, yeah, I'm not. I am. I'm just not a fan of everything because like I'm not. I'm probably not considered a hardcore fan because I haven't watched like the new Mall series. I haven't watched I haven't watched Andor, and at that point, people are like boo, because I haven't watched the best thing. I just haven't. I've been in college. I started it last summer, but I will say the first season of Andor, like it started off slow, and I actually was like on a trip, and I just didn't have the energy to keep watching it. Um, and it's probably something I plan to watch. Um, but at this moment, it's like I have other things I'm doing. I have other things I'm watching and everything. I really don't have anything other thing I'm watching other than Ryan Trahan. But watching Trahan, Ryan 3000. Anyway, this is going way too far. I've lost all my viewers, and this is the first time you've ever seen this channel, I'm Landon. I post whatever I want on this channel, and so thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.